Hello and welcome to OMG. I think I've screwed up my blog post for in real time, but never fear because Jeremiah is here and I'm going to show you how to easily fix this problem. Once you've logged into your site, notice we have a problem here on Don's right. The text looks kind of funky, the picture is way incorrectly sized, but you know what? There's an easy fix for this. Once we've logged in, let's click on Don's Ride, click on the icon that has a pencil, which is how you edit a blog that you've already created. In a later tutorial, I'm going to show you how to correctly input a blog so that you don't have this trouble again. The first thing that I want to do is I'm going to cut out all the text and then I'm going to delete the picture. In Windows or a PC computer, which is what many people have, you want to open up a program called Notepad. A Notepad can be found by clicking Start, All Programs, Accessories, and then Notepad. I have a Mac and my program is called TextEdit, but it's basically the same thing. So I'm going to highlight here. I'm going to cut that text. I use quick keys to cut, but to cut and paste, you can also highlight, go up here to Edit, Cut, go to this next program here, and choose, go back, choose Edit, and Paste, and you have that. Now the reason why we do that is because Notepad and TextEdit, for the most part, don't keep formatting, and that's the problem that we have is there's a style that's formatted that it's kind of hard to get rid of in the code, because if you copy and paste over an existing area that's already styled, like as a title or a color, sometimes it formats everything rather than just one line. So we've got that. I'm going to hide that window. I'm going to go here to the picture. Let me figure out what the name of it is. I'm going to highlight the picture, and I'm going, or select it rather, click on Properties, and you do that by right-clicking on your mouse, and I'm going to select here and go all the way to the end, and I notice that it's called Jeep Thumb. Okay, so I'm going to delete this picture out. Alright, and I'm going to take out everything in this box so that we can have a fresh place to start. First thing I want to do is I'm going to go back to this first line here, and I'm just going to choose Edit and Copy. I'm going to go back to this window and I'm going to Edit and Paste, and there's no formatting on there at all now, so you have a clean fresh start. Okay, the next piece is I want to paste the rest of the text in, so I'm going to highlight all this text here. I'm going to choose Edit and Copy, go into this line. I've clicked to return a couple times so that there's some space, and I'm going to choose, I've got my cursor where I want to place the text, and I'm going to choose Edit and Paste. Now it doesn't paste the paragraph break, which creates some space between the two paragraphs. I'm going to go back and find that where that is, and that's after the 2012 and after the goodies. So find the 2012, and I'm going to go here and I find goodies and click return, and there you have it. So now I'm going to enter in the picture. I've gone to the end of the last line of the first paragraph, and I've clicked return, so the cursor is blinking, and that's where I'm going to enter the picture. So let's click on the image manager, and we know that it's already uploaded because we used it a minute ago. We're going to find the name Jeep Thumb. I'm going to scroll down here to the bottom, and it's Jeep Thumb. Now once we get this problem fixed, this is the main issue, is really dealing with the image editor. So with this selected, with Jeep Thumb selected, I'm going to click Image Editor, this little icon here, and it's going to pop up a window that is really icon based, which means that everything is driven by buttons, all the controls. We have the Restore Image, which if I click this, any changes that I've made, crops or resizing, or rotating rather, any of that will restore back to its original condition before saving it. There's a crop, there's resize. I can zoom in on a particular area. I can zoom in the entire image, zoom out the entire image. I can make the opacity, take that down, which means that it'll show whatever's behind it through. I can rotate the image any way that I want. I can add text on top. So there's many different things that you can do. Down here at the bottom, before we end up saving it, we're going to give it a new name. It automatically adds thumb, but we don't have to put that. We can name it whatever we want to, just as long as we name it something different than it originally was. So the first thing we want to do is resize this image. So I'm going to go up here to this icon here and click resize, and a tool dialog for resizing will pop up. One quick thing to notice here is the width, and here's the height of the image. It starts out at its current state, which is 3,000 pixels wide by 2,000 pixels tall. That's pretty wide considering that most computer screens are a little over 1,000 pixels wide. What this little chain link does is it constrains the proportions, which means that if I affect the width, it'll affect the height in the same proportion so the image doesn't look squished. If I deselect it and I want to make this 200, let me click in here and type 200. And I click resize, notice that it does something funky like that, and that's not what we want to do. So let me type 3,000 again. I've selected the constrained proportions, and for this site we want to go about as wide as 620 pixels. That's about as wide as we want to go, and notice that the height is automatically affected as well. I'm going to click resize, and notice that we have this image here. Should I want to crop the image so that I don't want to show any past the headlight of the Jeep in the background and the shift of the Jeep that we're looking at, I'm going to click the crop. This crop image dialog toolbox will pop up, as well as a dotted line square will automatically pop up. In this case, it will affect the size and the width the exact same. We don't want a square, we want more of a rectangle. So I'm going to deselect this constraint proportions icon, and I'm going to just resize this box by going to one of the colored in squares just on the inside of the dotted line, and I'm going to resize the box the way I want it, just above the headlight. I'm going to drag down just to the bottom of the shifter. Move this out. You can drag this out of the way if you want, so you can see. Drag that to the outside of the image. And move it to where it needs to be, which is, and you can click anywhere inside. Notice that you can drag the box anywhere you want, so that way it positions and it crops the appropriate place. I'm going to click crop, give it a second, and it will resize the image the way it needs to be. And I'm just going to say Jeep crop. And that you can name it whatever you want to, just as long as make sure that it's not a name that you've already created on the site, because there is an issue with overriding. So just give it a new name. Click save. And my Jeep resize crop is automatically highlighted. I'm just going to click insert, and I've got my image appropriately inserted. Now I want to take this text out here. Okay, so now we've got our image sized appropriately and we've got plain text. One of the things that we need to do is to give this text some style, and which we're going to do right now. I'm going to mouse click at the end, or rather the beginning of the first paragraph. Click enter. I'm going to go up to the top line and I'm just going to type overview. Okay. And I'm going to highlight this text. I'm going to make it a heading 2. Add some extra space so we can take that out. And I'm going to go to the next thing, and I'm going to give it a title really relative to what the content of the text is below. So for example, this one I'm just going to say what's new. What's new. Highlight here, select heading 2, click there below, delete that extra space that is added there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add an extra space after word used to, because that's more has to deal with price. Go here and I'm going to type in things to keep in mind. Now you can always go back and edit this if you want, but this is just what I'm putting now. Take out the extra space. For here I'm going to put price and features. Go there. And I'm going to say options. Take out the space. And you want to make sure that your name, whether it be Don Armstrong, Mike Herzing, John Mitten, make sure that name is in the tag there, just so that when people search for you and they click on your author picture on the home page, that this will be included in the search query. I'm going to add Jeep Rubicon, a tag there. I can add Jeep, whatever I want. Click Save My Changes. It's going to take me to the page, and there I notice a much more clean look and layout for the Don's Ride. So if you ever come to an OMG moment again, never fear, for this is how you can fix it.